good to have you back. You're still watching SmartMains, and obviously, as we're heading into our on-ground conversations, please do remember to get into the world of investment with Zabu. Zabu is a platform which is powered by Altex East Africa, and it's giving you an advantage of growing your investments today. How possible is that? You can invest in government bonds and other securities available on the platform. With just a minimum of 15,000 Ugandan shillings, you can kickstart off your investment and choose, for example, a preferred maturity period for your bond that you definitely need to choose. But besides that as well, you get to realize that more of the opportunities available on the platform come during the Monday to Friday weekly days. That is from 8:15 a.m. to 3:15 p.m. East African Standard Time. Please do note that these markets are fully closed during the weekends and on public holidays. Zabu, my money, my future. Altex East Africa says do something new, and you can do something new by investing in government bonds and securities. And well, we're heading on to our on-ground conversations this morning, and with this one, this time around, Parliament was on ground yesterday following up on the issue to do with infrastructure or the poor road network within the capital and the neighboring Kampala suburbs. Now, speaking of which, the Uganda National Roads Authority and the Kampala City Council Authority were advised and urged to be inclusive in regards to the road fund allocation. Why? Because by the look of things, Kampala is underfunded, and this is one of the reasons as to why the KCCA officials just of recent have always been saying, well, they have less funds to continue with the road maintenance, not only road maintenance though, but also to look at making sure that the road network is up to standard of a capital city. But this and more as we return with Andrew to discuss what is happening in regards to this particular point of view. We do have Honorable Kasolo Robert, the Deputy Chairperson of the Committee on Physical Infrastructure, which was on ground monitoring the entire situation in the capital, and then Honorable Byanyima Nathan, Member of Parliament, Bukanga North, then Honorable Karabanga David, Chairperson of the Committee on Physical Infrastructure, which makes sure that they look through and try to scrutinize the provisions or the kind of works that are being done in regards to the infrastructure development of the country. And then furthermore is Honorable Mohammed Nsereko, Member of Parliament, Kampala Central Division, and David Luyimbazi, who's the Deputy to the Executive Director, Kampala City Council Authority. Now, all of these were on ground yesterday, following up on the issue to do with the KCCA, or the issues to do with the Kampala city roads, which have become a very huge concern for most of the Ugandans, because last week there was as well a social media exhibition where Ugandans were showing their dissatisfaction. But of course, the Parliamentary Committee on Physical Infrastructure was on ground to monitor and see the situation, and they had some recommendations.
The reason as to why we are here is simply to ascertain the roads of Kampala and what has happened to Kampala. Of course, what is very clear and evident is that the roads are all in horrible situation. Now, why are we here? We are all aware that during a plenary session, the Speaker, issues of Kampala came up prominently, and the Speaker assigned the committee, which I deputize, to have this day round, a whole of Monday, walk around Kampala, see the potholes, and as the Minister is making a special report tomorrow on the plenary, the committee will be given a slot also to submit a report depending on what we have seen on the ground. That's why we are here. The roads are horrible in Kampala. Kampala is almost gone.
And there is no question about it. This is the opportune time for members of parliament and for the whole country to realize that we need to make Kampala roads better. Much as the other roads are bad, but with this issue of having 1 billion for each district, now the money for road fund should look at two institutions, KCCA and UNRA, so that we can have Kampala put in good order. The motorists must be suffering everywhere. They are suffering, our passengers, everybody. is suffering because of the bad roads. So it's high time we prioritize Kampala as the face of this country, as our city, because all of us live in this city. And the roads are very bad, there's no question about it. So I appeal to my colleagues that we support each other and ensure that the government apportions enough funds for Kampala for this time.
We are committed to physical infrastructure. And of course, specifically here, we are trying to assess the status of roads so that we can budget adequately to make sure we resolve all these issues. We maintain all these roads to the state that is motorable. This is the budgeting time. So as a committee, we are moving to make that assessment so that we can provide adequate money to KCCA for the repairs of these potholed roads.
This capital is ill-funded. It gets less than 10% of what is collected in form of taxes. And all the divisions of Kampala are ill-funded. If we want the roads done, let us use the money we get from the budget to replenish Kampala. Therefore, we warned this 1 year ago during the budgetary session. People did not take it serious. Now they are paying the cost. So Africans feel by touching. We are inviting the president to also come and feel the wrath of the people. Because the wrath is being unleashed on us who don't have money.
No, as KC, we've long argued that the resources we get are not sufficient for the task we have. For example, next financial year we're getting a total of 10 billion shillings. And we're saying that that money is not sufficient to meet the challenges the city faces, the roads, the drainages, the garbage that needs to be dealt with. According to our strategic plan, we need about 1.4 trillion shillings every financial year to be able to have a livable, sustainable city. We currently get only 170 billion, according to what we're getting next financial year. Definitely this is a challenging environment. And of course, what happens is that the roads have collapsed. On average, a road is supposed to last about 15 to 20 years. Our roads are over 40 years. So most of them need rehabilitation. And the current interventions we're trying to implement are sectional repairs in order to be able to redeem the current situation of roads as we await funding, mainly from development partners. So today, MPs decided to come and conduct an on-site inspection to appreciate the circumstances of the roads in the city. And they've come to a conclusion that actually KCCA needs more resources to be able to provide the infrastructure the city needs. Without resources, it's difficult for us to turn around the situation of roads in the city.
Well, he did mention that most of the roads that they are currently having, or that they are currently maintaining in the city, have actually been there for close to 40 years now. And, well, you can't argue more about that, but he does mention that Kampala City Council Authority needs more funding if they are to establish or set up more quality roads in the capital. They lack the funds, he does mention. And of course, this is a very big issue. But because when you look at the state of the Kampala city roads lately, you will definitely understand that there is a need of funding. Last week, President Museveni did, of course, did order the Ministry of Finance to allocate funds to Kampala City Council Authority to cover up the kind of situation that we have. Now, Andrew is back on set this morning as we look deeper in understanding the issue to do with the Kampala potholes. Andrew, when you look at these potholes, they actually look more deeper. Some people actually say that it does seem like these are potholes that are dug by human beings.
Well, I mean, it's quite very, you know, like I always keep saying, these are different vehicles pass over these, and you know, always the quality and the standard. It's more like they don't gauge, saying that, you know, this is meant for these vehicles to travel in there. You know, that contributing to that.
Yeah.
But anyway, getting back to this point, you see, Muhammad has mentioned something about the city being underfunded, and this is one of the very, very key challenges, because when you go to, I would suggest actually, you know, and you know, this can solve most of the challenges, saying that, you know, the money allocated is not enough. Because imagine in other countries where they have a federal system of governance, where money collected within a certain division can actually be enough to facilitate that, the needs of that area. And that's one of the challenges, that you find that areas that contribute a lot, not only just in the road construction within Uganda, that contribute a lot to taxation, when it comes back to allocating funds to run the daily activities, it's quite a little bit unfair. And yeah, quite so many. And I believe this should teach us quite lots of things, because right now like that route where they were, I think it's connecting that road. It's actually really in a very sorry state. I'm forgetting the name of that area, because now the roads have gone beyond maintenance. It should be started afresh.
Okay.
You know, because some of these were all the way since Ghana got independence until now they have not gotten any other, you know, sort of renovation, which is quite very sad into that. But now you see, it's always better, because for developed nations, whereby now people are looking up to maintenance, and that's and it's the reason why we see all these aspects of, you know, money is not enough. Would be actually even 6 billion would be enough to if it was just maintenance.
Yes.
But you know what? Some of them have to be constructed afresh. The maram has to be put aside, and fresh has to be put there. You know. So I think that should be a lesson. Why do we have to first wait for the roads to reach to that level? And also, looking at the members of parliament, the stakeholders, for all along, was it the first time for them to really know what an average Ugandan faces through?
Yes.
Because they sit in cars which have strong shock absorbers, and they can't really relate to. Now, what they saw is the reality. You know, that is the real world. And today they are going to present that report. They are finding, and that's so weird. It doesn't even. So was it the first time they saw that? And also, why should we first make all rounds on Twitter and social media to evoke the policymakers to allocate funds? This should be something of personal responsibility. You know, I mean, it's quite absurd. And if some of the few aspects are not utilized, now this money could be allocated for other relevant users for economy. But now we are building roads of which it's not enough because of the state of the roads.
Very true.
It's now beyond repair.
And obviously, when he mentions of Twitter, you get to realize that as of yesterday, another exhibition on Twitter, which is relating to the state of Uganda's health system, was among the other exhibitions. Try to look out for the PRO of the Ministry of Health. Well, he's actually up countries in Kabale, following up on the same matter. He did say on his Twitter handle that he's listening, noting down every claim from Ugandans, and of course they're trying as the ministry as hard as possible to make sure that they cover up this, because the state under which our health system is, there's a lot to be worked upon in regards to the interns and the quality of the hospitals, the infrastructure, the equipment, besides that, medicine availability, and then also, not only that by the way, but also you get to look at the fact that the working conditions of these medical workers as well, their salaries, their allowances, and everything, because health is a priority. But besides that, the Deputy E.D. Luyimbazi did mention in the on-ground here that the members of parliament had gone on ground to at least appreciate, and I want to believe they didn't appreciate anything there, but they were obviously observant enough to understand the state under which KCCA is operating. And of course, in their report, they will have to be filing or presenting their findings and of course their recommendations, as a matter of fact, to Parliament to see whether in the next financial year, hopefully, Kampala City Council Authority will be having more funds allocated to them in order to expand and construct better roads for the development of infrastructure within the city. And that's it for the SMB on ground this morning, which means we have come to the end of Smart Means Business on the 25th of Tuesday, April 2023. I'm Jerome Paul Sonko. I've been with Andrew Barije, and you can follow me up on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram as well. That is still Jerome Paul Sonko. Smart24 TV is on mainstream. That is free-to-air decoders, and on Go TV, the channel 394, DSTV, the channel 372 as well. The website is www.smart24.tv/news for both real-time business updates, both local and international. And for that matter, we do wish you a good day, as we're wishing you a good morning as well. Please do remember to subscribe to the Zabu platform and grow your investments as well. Star 292 hash is the USSD code that you can use today to kickstart off your investment journey. With Zabu, all that matters is that you can grow your investments as possible as you can, because with Zabu, with just 15,000 Ugandan shillings, it is that easy for you to kickstart your investments. The markets open at 8:15 a.m. and closing time is 3:15 p.m. East African Standard Time. Please do note that these markets are fully closed during the weekends and obviously only open from Monday to Fridays. Zabu, my money, my future. Altex East Africa, do something new. A very good morning from us to you. Till tomorrow, goodbye.